Hi, today we're going to be dividing rational numbers. Dividing rational numbers follows the same rules as multiplying rational numbers. Remember, when you are multiplying or dividing numbers with the same signs, you will get a positive answer. If you are multiplying or dividing numbers with different signs, you are going to get a negative answer. We are going to watch a video now to help us practice.
Hey, this is Julie with Mahalo.com, and we are going to talk about dividing fractions. Now, dividing fractions can be very intimidating because most people don't love fractions and they don't love dividing. Put it together, it can feel like an intimidating problem. But I'm going to show you a trick that can make it easy. We're going to divide 2 over 7 divided by 3/4. And while this looks like a scary problem, the trick I'm going to teach you makes it very easy. I need you to remember the acronym KCF. And what that stands for is keep, change, flip. So you're going to keep the first fraction as it is, 2 over 7. You're going to change this division sign to multiplication. And you're going to flip the last fraction. So if we flip 3/4, it's going to turn into 4 over 3. So anytime you're dividing fractions, anytime, you're just going to turn it into a multiplication problem, and then it's simple. Because when multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. 2 times 4 is 8, and 7 times 3 is 21. And you can't reduce that fraction, so there's your final answer.
Okay, now let's practice. One problem we can practice with is 3/4 divided by negative 2/5. If you remember from the video, you should remember the acronym keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep our first fraction the same, keep. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and we're going to flip the last fraction to negative 5/2. Now let's multiply across. 3 times negative 5, if we remember our rules, a positive times a negative is a negative, negative 15, and 4 times 2 is 8. We can also change that to a mixed fraction. 8 goes into 15 one whole time with 7 left over, and we keep the same denominator. So negative 15/8 or negative 1 7/8. Now let's watch a video to help us practice dividing decimals.
Hey, this is Julie with Mahalo.com, and today we're going to do division problems with decimals in both the divisor and the dividend. So, if we set this problem up, it's 4.48 divided by 1.4. Now, many people get confused when there's a decimal on the outside. And the important thing to know is that you're just trying to get rid of that decimal. It's okay if you have one on the inside, but we want to get rid of this decimal here. So the one thing I always tell students is you need to move it over for as many digits as you have to the right of the decimal. So in this case, it would be 1 time. Now what you do on the outside, you need to also do on the inside. So that means we need to move this decimal over 1 time. I also recommend that you rewrite the problem so that you can see it when it looks neat. So this would now be 14 divided by, and this is 44. The decimal is here now, 0.8. And now you're just going to continue with your normal long division. Remember, when dividing with a decimal, place that decimal first so that you don't forget about it at the end. So we're looking at how many times does 14 go into 44? It goes in 3 times. 3 times 14 is 42. We're going to subtract 42 from that 44, and we have 2. Remember, you don't have to worry about that decimal. It's already in your answer. So just go ahead and bring down the 8. And 14 goes into 28 2 times. So our answer to this problem is 3.2.
Now let's practice a problem together. We are going to be dividing 48 hundredths by 6/10. Let's rewrite the problem down here. The first step we have to do is move the decimal. Whatever we do on the outside, we also have to do on the inside. We move the decimal over 1 space, so we also have to do that on the inside. And we go ahead and put our decimal in our answer before we even start. Now we have to ask ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 4? None. How many times does 6 go into 48? 8. And we already had our decimal here, so our answer is 0.8. Now what if one of our numbers was negative? What would we do? Well, we're dividing numbers with different signs, so our answer would be negative. Now pause the video and do the quick check problems in your textbook. Page 43, you're going to be doing numbers 1A and 1B. And on page 44, you're going to be doing problems 3A and 3B.